Hey everybody, this is Richard with Sloth Father Trading. Wanted to pop in tonight and do our daily review of trades taken, trades that could have been, and just overall markets. Um, Let me pop my screen up real quick. Today was a good day to trade. Uh, Really good price action for crude oil, uh, and let me hide this one. So that was today's. Um, this was yesterday's uh, fixed volume profile. Um, and we always put that on the 30-minute chart from 8 o'clock to 4:30 in the afternoon. All you have to do is go to indicators and search fixed range volume profile. Sorry about that. I have mine favorited so that it's always there, and that also puts it down in my toolbar at the bottom of my screen. I think it is also over here. Uh, I know it is. I know it is. Oh, there it is. It's just above your drawing tool in your long and short position. It's fixed range volume profile. Like I said, if you favor it, it'll put it down in your toolbar. It's always on your screen. So anyway, you grab your fixed range volume profile, you put it on the time you want to start, which I do 8 o'clock in the morning. You click, drag to 4:30 in the afternoon, release, click again, and it will build the volume fixed range volume profile for you. So that's what we use along with hand-drawn supply and demand zones. I don't use an indicator to find those. I draw them myself. Support and resistance lines, I draw myself. And we do use ADR levels. ADR levels by D. Demi. This just gives us our average daily range that asset could move throughout the day. And well, I think I've got it turned off. ADR levels. There we go. We never got down to the bottom, but we certainly got to the top. So turn on VWAP and our SMAs. All right. So this was, that's 9:30. When you go back to 8 o'clock. There we go. All right. Didn't make a whole lot of difference. Um, so once we have that drawn on the 30-minute chart, we'll move down to our 15-minute chart. This is the chart that we actually watch during the day and look for candle closes and patterns and everything else to decide whether or not to take a trade. Um, I took 2 trades in the London market right around the London Open. And in the London market, I will work off the 5-minute chart um, just because London doesn't move as far. Um, the New York session, I use 15-minute supply and demand zones. London, I will use 5-minute. Like I said, it just doesn't move as far. So I'm looking for those shorter targets. If we go in, why are they hidden? I'm not sure. Short position. Yep, there it is. And short position. All right. Um, so these were our London market trades. You can see we had support and resistance right here. We were below VWAP, and I also have some previous volume profile levels that I can throw up when needed. And sure enough, there was a previous point of control mixed in with all of that too. Slightly above that was a previous value area high, right close to a 5-minute supply zone. So my thought process, as the London market opened at 3 o'clock in the morning, I believe that's the open. It could be earlier. It might be 2 o'clock. But price was holding below VWAP pretty much the entire time. It tried to bust through here, put a big engulfing down candle down. So what I was looking for was the pullback on that, to risk all of these combined levels and take a short down. Well, and we did have a flat 5-minute demand zone right in here where these candles touched it and took off again. So that was going to be my first target, was the 5-minute demand. Unfortunately, the market had other plans and broke through all those levels and stopped me out. So the first trade of the day was a loss. On all of our trades, we try not to risk more than $240. Sometimes that gives us multiple contracts. Sometimes, depending on the stop loss size, only gives us one contract. But that would have been a very good trade at 3 o'clock in the morning, right before I went to bed, for $2,000. Had it worked out, it did not. No worries. Move on to the next one. So as it broke that level and stopped me out, I saw it coming up to this 5-minute supply at a previous value area high. So I set this order real quick before price got up there and entered just below that value area high. I mean, just below, like one tick. And then I risked the 5-minute supply zone. I would have been stopped out had it went straight through that supply zone. But that would have, it used a lot of strength just to get through all these levels here. I doubt it had enough strength to continue on and just blow right through a 5-minute supply without some kind of reaction. So it did hit. It went about halfway through that supply zone and reversed. And then it started just playing around down here, not really going anywhere. Well, this was a 4-contract trade. And I was super tired. I'd been up all day working and all night. So I was going to go to bed. So I took 2 contracts off for almost $200 profit, which reduced my total risk if stopped out to $120, because I took half of the contracts off here. So if I had been stopped out with a $200 profit in my pocket for 120 bucks, I still would have made, less than $100 profit, but I still would have been profitable. So I could go to bed, sleep easy, not have to worry about this trade anymore. Woke up at about 8. I think I woke up at about 8:45, 9 o'clock, and saw that the trade worked. We got the entire profit. Well, not the entire profit, because we took 2 contracts off. We ended up making about $850 on that trade. Obviously, that covered our loss from this one. Plus, no, I made $1,000 on this trade because I covered my losses and I was in profit for the day of $850. So that works. That's a good way to wake up. making money in your sleep is not a bad thing. I don't do it often. I usually don't trade London unless I've woken up. I usually get up about 2 o'clock in the morning to start my day. Um, and while I'm getting ready and everything, I watch the London market. And if an opportunity arises before I'm ready to go to work, then I will take that opportunity. If it doesn't, no worries. I'm not I'm not trying to trade the London session. It just happens to be there when I get up. So take the opportunities as you see them, right? So we went to bed and all of this happened, and that happened while I was sleeping. And lo and behold, we come up to the open. 9 o'clock is a little bit early for me to take a reversal trade, even though we've had this really big push up. You would kind of expect it. Um, but it's too early. I'm not looking to trade until right around 10 o'clock in the morning. So we let that one slide. We weren't quite awake anyway, trying to get some caffeine in us. Um, and this trade came up. So we saw the pullback. Uh, it broke the 8 SMA. It pulled back to the 1 standard deviation on VWAP and started moving up again. It regained the 8 SMA. And I saw this previous point of control sitting up here. It's kind of a level all off to itself. But we've already had a really strong push up. So at this point, any level from yesterday's volume profile, I'm going to be pretty interested in. Also, I had changed my mindset on the kinds of trades I was going to take for the day at this point because I was already up $850. So, and I have a certain amount that I can win in this audition per day without them adding to my profit target to pass the audition. So I decided to take the short at the point of control. I put 0.15% risk stop loss, and which is 12 cents on crude. And my original plan was to take it back to this 5-minute demand zone here that had been made. And you could put it there, or you could just use the down candle. The down candle would have, it never would have got down there. If you use the entire range, then you just barely hit the top of it. But what ultimately happened, again, because I was looking for smaller profits, quicker trades, because I was already in profit, I ended up closing this trade for just a touch over 1-to-1 because this down candle came down, pulled back a little bit, came back down, and I closed it. As soon as it filled the wick, so it came down, pulled back, and created a wick. As soon as it filled that wick, I cut my trade and pretty much bottom ticked that candle. I could have stayed in the trade and got it down to here, but again, I'm not looking to risk. You have to put on risk on every trade, and I would be okay if if it came up, tagged me in, and just blew right through. But once I go into profit, I'm looking for about $100 to $150 to just close the trade out and be done. Because I'm not looking for those bigger moves right now. We've just had a huge up push, and this very well could have pulled back here and just took off again. In fact, it did. After coming back down and hitting this 5-minute demand, it took off again. So quick trades, decent profits. This one, I did not trade two contracts. I only traded one contract on that. I know, and that was risking 120 to win 130. Perfectly happy with it. A 1-to-1 is not something I typically look for, but already being in a hefty profit for the day, I'm willing to take those small wins and just cut the trade, no matter how far down it would have gone at that point. And you'll see that in a second, as you can see on the chart. The next trade of the day that I took, once it broke through the point of control, I saw this previous value area high. This previous value area high was also at the top of the average daily range, indicated by the bright red bar, and it was also coming up close to a 15-minute supply zone. So I took a short a couple of ticks below the value area high, risking that 0.15, 12 cents on crude again. And I didn't even get 1-to-1 on this trade. What happened was I decided, and everyone that knows the system already, and for those that don't, we use the volume profile from the previous day and days before that to find levels to trade. But so because this was a previous day, not just yesterday's, and that distinction can be made. Well, where the heck did yesterday's go? Did I hide it? Might have hid it. Oh, there it is. Yesterday's value area high was also at a previous value area high and a POC. I might have extended that line. I think I did. Anywho, so these two lines, no, that was actually a previous day, because I had the line extended already. So, we had a lot of levels here, but this was yesterday's. And then I know that since we've broken out of yesterday's value area, I'm going to have to use some days before that to pick my targets and my trade locations. So this seemed like a good spot for me. We had a reaction at the point of control. We should have a reaction at the value area high. If it decided to pull back a little and then go into the supply zone, that's fine. I'm not looking for a very big trade here. But what I did, just to give me a target, was I took the fixed volume profile, and I think I did it from 9:30, the New York Open, which oil actually opens at 8 o'clock, to that specific time of day. Was that it? That could be it. That can't be it. It can't be. Let's remove that one. Oh, well, it changed. That's the thing. Because price came back down and we got a lot more volume down here than we had up here during the day. So the value area changed, and that's why we don't use the current session's volume profile, is because it will change throughout the day, and you don't want to be trying to set targets or take trades on areas that are going to change on you. It's just not a good thing. But when I pulled it up at that moment, and put it on the candle before I got entered into the trade, that session's value area high was where I took profit at. I keep looking at my picture instead of the camera. I always do it. So that current session, New York session's value area high, was at the bottom of my trade box, which gave me a good target. If it broke that area and it was going to reverse at this previous high, it might just retest the current value area high and take off, right? Possibly. It ended up coming back into the day's value area high and going way down. So we just took this quick trade. And on this one, we took 2 contracts, risking our 240, and we won 220. Okay. Again, I mean, anybody who's had a winning day and trades just work, it's always fun. You can't deny it. Always fun. So price started coming down again, and then we were coming down. It reversed off of VWAP. It bounced back up. It made a pretty good support resistance line here. And this was also this 5-minute demand zone. It came down to it, reacted, pushed through, basically mitigating it. But we were coming down to VWAP. And with the strength of the market up until this point, I was in a bullish mindset. So this was just a pullback to me to come to VWAP and get into this demand and push higher into this supply. So we broke below VWAP, pushed above, and I moved to the 3-minute chart. And what I saw at that point was this little Morningstar setup. We had a Morningstar setup here, but the candle didn't close. So this one kind of failed. Obviously, it didn't close above VWAP. And then we got another down candle, and then we got another little Morningstar. Well, this candle started pushing up, and I set my order for the pullback on that candle. Well, it ended up actually pulling back in the same candle, tagging me into the trade, and then started pushing up, and I took my profits at the 21 SMA. Short, quick, but still good profit. It was a 1.4 to 1 trade, and on that trade, we only risked 100 and we won 140. So I was extremely happy only having to risk $100 on that trade, taking 1 contract. Now I could have done the normal and took 2 contracts and risked 200 and won another $140, which would have put me right at $1,500, which was the limit I could win that day. But I only took 1 contract because I didn't want it, to jam up and then me be over my limit. So when that trade got to the 21 and I saw my P&L at $140, I closed the trade. I was done, which was a pretty good decision because it couldn't get above the 21. It ended up falling back down and going down again below this support and resistance line that we were fighting so hard to get above in the morning. So those were my trades for the day, ending up with $1,300, I think it's $1,330 profit. It's already closed it out because it resets at the end of the day, and we're now in a new trading day. But the account is at $52,052, and we need $53,000 to get this account funded. So we're 2/3 of the way there. Hopefully tomorrow we can trade well and get that into the profit target and get it funded. So trades that could have been, obviously, would have been fantastic trading day. Um, once we broke this really strong level up here, this candle close would have been nice to think about the pullback, but we still had this supply zone that had been made that had not been touched yet. So kind of wanted to see what happened with that supply zone. Came close to it, and what happened is what would have gotten me into this trade. The next candle went all the way through it. Now that could just be liquidation to come back through the zone. So what I would trade here is a long position just below this candle and above the 1 standard deviation of VWAP, because it will respect that line quite a bit, as you can see throughout the day. And then I would have risk just below that point of control that we just broke above. So it's basically a retest of the point of control after going through that supply zone. And it would have been at the close of this candle. So this wick would have not have been of concern to me, obviously. And that's not my 12 cents. 11, 12 cents would have kept us safe. We would not have gotten stopped out. We would have risked our $240. Wow, no, actually, we would have risked less than that. Nice. And depending on how you trade, we definitely could have taken that trade up to this point of supply, because we did not have any, although there may have been, which I don't think there was, any supply or demand zones there in between this level. We could have taken this up and closed it just below point of control. We would have gotten a little nervous here, but that is a pullback to the 3-minute 21 SMA that never broke the 21 SMA. Had it broke the 21 SMA, I probably would have closed the trade for a much less profit than I could have made, but I still would have been happy because I made profit and nothing else matters. So, okay. Other things do matter. Risk management matters. Don't be risking 500 to win 200. Okay, just don't. It's not a good thing. So awesome trade in the morning. That would have worked. Just let it run, except the $120 loss. At this point, I'm already up $850. If I had taken this trade, if I had been awake enough to take this trade, I would have had to close the trade early because I couldn't win $1,600. I would have had to close the trade when my profit and loss got around 1,400. So I would have been done for the day before 9 o'clock in the morning and went to work. But we didn't. We had time to sit around and trade. And like I said, I was not awake enough at this point to realize what was happening. So I didn't take this trade, but would have been good for anyone who grabbed it. And of course, the next best trade of the day was the short I took up here, that if I had not already made profits for the day, I definitely would have taken this trade, which would have been I think it was a 4 contract trade. No, it was a 2 contract trade. Okay. Um, so a 2 contract trade risking $240. Um, but I would have targeted at least this point of control, which would have given me a $620 trade. And I would have been perfectly happy with that because I would have added that to my $260 that I made over here, which is not 260. I believe that was the one I only traded 1 contract on. So 130 on top of my 620 would have been a $750 day. Perfectly fine. I'm good with that. Time to close the computer and be done, and not have to see this thing go all the way down. Now, value area to value area. Should you have decided to wait and hold and see what happens, it hits point of control. It goes back up and tests the 21 SMA. It never breaks it. So you can hold this trade, and then it dumps. And you don't touch the 21 or close above the 21 again until right here. Now, would I have waited to get to there? No, because what is before that point? VWAP. I would have closed my trade right around here because the strength of the market showed that buyers were in control. VWAP would have, to me, would have been a place for it to test and then go back up and hit this 15-minute supply. So I would have gotten out there. The conservative side of me probably would have gotten out at point of control, unless for some reason I just decided to be brave and see, yeah, this thing's starting to pull back, but it never broke the 21 on the first candle, closed below, tried again, didn't break. So yeah, maybe I do stay in, because typically when I'm in a trending market, I will stay in the trade until it breaks the 21 SMA or I reach a major level. With this being close to its average daily range to the high side, you can expect a reversal in this area. I really expected it at some point to come up and hit this 15-minute supply zone first, but it had other plans. But you could have taken this back to VWAP. And if you were super brave, because that was a close above the 21, and you waited for the next candle, which could have lost you even more profit, you could have actually caught it from value area to value area for a 9-to-1 trade. But realistically, VWAP is such a strong level, and with the condition of the market, I would certainly expect that to hold. And I would have taken my 6.5-to-1 trade there, risking the 240 to win 1580. And again, I couldn't have taken the whole trade. I would have had to have closed it at some point, to stay below that $1,500 marker. So that is the trades that I took, the trades that could have been, according to my system and trade plan. And all in all, we hit pretty much our max profit for the day and had to shut it down, and didn't do any trading this afternoon. So I have a load that I got to pick up in eastern Kansas, headed down to Atlanta, Georgia, but definitely will be making some time to trade over the next couple of days, either in the morning or afternoon session. For those in the Alpha Trader Country Club Discord, I will ping the stock traders role, to let you know that I'm going live I will more than likely be live for the Open, New York Open. If we don't make $1,000 in the opening session, then I will definitely make time to stop in the afternoon session around 1:30 and get back on then to see if we can catch a trade or two in that session as well. So that is pretty much it. I am going to hide all of my previous levels. I am going to delete that command zone. We're going to delete that one. And we are going to, I could have sworn I had today's levels done, but obviously not. So we're going to hide that one. What is this one that's hidden? Okay, so that was yesterday's. We need to put that into previous levels. Yeah, put that into previous levels. And then we need to put on today's fixed volume profile, starting at 8 o'clock, going to 4:30. We're gonna have to move that. Over to 4:30. 4:30. 4:30. 4:30. Really? Oh, that's 4:30. All right. So that is yesterday's or today's levels that we will use for tomorrow. We are just inside value area. We'll see what the Asian session and London session do to us. Looks like the open pushed down pretty hard. I think Asia opens at 8 o'clock. I'm not sure. They may already be open with that kind of push, but we'll see. So, good day all in all. I'm going to get out of here, go to bed, so I can get up around 2:30 in the morning and start my day all over again. We are getting so close, guys. Actually, at this point, I could leave the truck and use the accounts that I have funded to trade for profit and make a living doing this as trading as my only job. A few factors are keeping me in the truck. Not financial factors, but fun factors. My company gives away 3 brand new Dodge Ram pickup trucks, some ATV side-by-sides, and some cash prizes for the drivers that work through the holidays from Thanksgiving to the end of the first week of January. For every day that you're available for dispatch and working, you get 1 ticket into the drawing. So the odds of winning are pretty darn good compared to most other giveaways you'll ever enter in your life. So I have decided to not leave the truck in November like the goal was, and I could do at the moment, even though I haven't started taking profits out of my funded accounts, because I'm trying to build a buffer, which also gives me a little bit more time to build those buffers before taking profits, and gives me a shot at some pretty cool prizes for this year. It's only, one more month in the truck from what I had planned on leaving by the end of November, um, which you have no idea how hard every day that I wake up and have to get behind the steering wheel it is to continue to do this job, knowing that I could leave at any moment, um, and be perfectly fine. But it takes dedication, like everything else in life. Um, so we will be leaving the truck after the first of the year, and the drawing occurs, and trading full time. So really looking forward to that. It'll give me a lot more time to make more content, um, to concentrate on my trading without other distractions of this job having to be done as well. And will just take a whole lot of stress out of my life, not having to work 14-hour days, be able to get back into shape a little bit because this job kills your body. Um, Looking forward to joining Apex. Apex, I think is Apex Fitness. Well, anyway, um, one of the people who have partnered with the Nova House and Alpha Traders Country Club, personal trainer, uh, health and fitness coach. So really looking forward to joining that once I get out of the truck. Uh, I know that if I'm in the truck and I join something like that, because of my work schedule and the availability of food, um, you know, truck drivers, we don't get to Walmart every week. Um, there's a lot of Walmarts around the country that don't allow us to park there, even though they wouldn't have a store without us delivering their stuff to them. But hey, it is what it is. Um, and just the abundance of fast food that you have to eat as a truck driver is ridiculous, because there are no healthy, there are very few healthy options at truck stops. And I'm sorry, I'm just not eating a salad every single meal, every single day of my life. Not going to happen. I like meat. Um, so waiting to leave the truck to join John over at Apex, and get myself back into shape. That is my next goal after becoming a full-time trader, is to start working on my health, which, yes, almost also means getting rid of these, which when that happens, you guys will not see me for a week because it takes 5 to 7 days to get nicotine out of your system. My life is going to suck. I'm going to put the dogs in a kennel and I am going to sleep for 7 days, maybe trade a little. But that's also going to happen. So I've quit them once. The stress of losing my business and other factors uh, got me started again, and it is not an easy thing to quit. Nicotine is highly addictive for anyone who's never been a smoker, uh, but we did it once. We will do it again. Just with everything else in life, it's all about timing. I want to quit. I know I'm going to quit. Uh, I just know that it's going to be a whole lot more difficult, and I don't want to put my dogs through me being an asshole for 7 days while they're on the truck. Uh, Nicotine also affects your brain, so staying clear of mind and alert while I'm driving an 80,000-pound vehicle down the road is pretty important. So it's not something I want to quit, knowing that I have an end date and I can quit then without risking my own or someone else's life in the process. Um, I think I've added way too much to this video and made it a lot longer than it needed to be. So I am going to cut it off here. I appreciate everybody watching. Uh, if you wouldn't mind, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It's a brand new channel. I have very few followers. I'm looking for organic growth here. Um, so if you're watching this video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, make a comment. It just helps the algorithms push it out, maybe to a few more people that might watch it and do the same. So appreciate you all. Until tomorrow, be amazing, and we will see you on the trading floor sometime tomorrow. Take care, everybody.